Okay. Is it working?
Testing. Krystal, wave at me if you can hear us. Krystal can hear us.
Okay.
Hold on. You're up next, Krystal. We're about to add you in. Or does Ducky add her in? Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I heard you for like a second, and then I was like, hi, and then you're like, the volume was gone. So I don't know what happened.
Well, today we're in the conference room. Normally we're in my office, but I wanted to change it up a little bit, so we're in the conference room. But Bessler's got it going.
Good.
Where you at? Cincinnati?
No, Austin, Texas.
Cincinnati.
Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas. That's down south somewhere, right?
Just
that's the place they're keeping weird.
Keep it weird down there.
Yeah, weird down here for sure.
That's where. Are you from there, Krystal?
She's Canadian.
Oh, that's right.
I'm
Canadian.
From Alberta, Canada.
What brought you? You know where I did a show? Me and my wife did a show in. It's the only time I was in Canada. It was in Oves, Red Deer.
Okay, Red Deer is like an hour and a half from Calgary. It's like Waco, what Waco is to us, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, so we did a show there. It's pretty nice. That's part of Alberta. It was part of Alberta, right?
Yeah.
Whose birthday is it? Is it your birthday, Krystal?
My birthday?
People are saying happy birthday.
No.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Krystal.
Not my birthday.
It's not.
So Krystal runs the motorcycle missions. Mm-hmm. And the people, if you watch our show, you know that Josh that works with us.
The normal camera guy.
Which Josh is recovering from knee surgery, by the way, so we hope he gets well quick. Mm-hmm. Last I heard, he was sitting on the couch watching The Love Boat.
Holding hands with Sarah.
Holding hands with his wife, watching The Love Boat. So we hope Josh gets well. So I had advertised on Facebook for a eBay guy.
E-commerce,
whatever you call it. And Krystal called me and said, I got a guy. Mm-hmm. I got a guy. And
he's wonderful.
He came in. The rest is history. He's doing great. He's been here.
Almost a year.
I think it's over a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does great.
That's awesome.
So you take veterans like him.
Mm-hmm. That's how he and I met. He was a participant in the 5th motorcycle build that Motorcycle Missions ever did. So, yeah, so we take vets and first responders and we get them together to do motorcycle builds. That's one aspect of what we do. And then we also do motocross camps.
So motocross camps?
Motocross. So dirt bikes. We do dirt bike camps and training. So
what does that entail?
How do my kids get on it?
Well, they have to be a veteran or a first responder to ride with us. But they basically they just sign up online, like for all of our programming. So we've got welding, we've got the build mentorship program, which teaches the bike building aspect, then the motocross aspect. They just go online and sign up for those programs. And then it's kind of like a lottery, but we try and go in order of when people signed up. Mm-hmm. And then we select people based on if they qualify, if they check out as far as their military service and all that. And then we just give them a date and a time to show up, and we supply everything. We supply for the motocross, like we supply the gear. We have some really awesome sponsors, Tucker Rocky and Motool and Cyclist Law. They've all pitched in to buy us all new gear. So we have all new gear plus Bell helmets, of course, new helmets. And so they don't have to bring anything. And then we have all the bikes. So we actually just acquired 4 new CRF 250s. So that's really awesome. And then we have the build mentorship program. We currently have a build that we're dragging along in Arizona. It was supposed to be done for Bike Week in April. But with the virus hit right before we could do that. So we've actually put that bike on hold till next April. So.
And when you say you build bikes, you're not building bikes like what we build here, choppers and stuff. You're building like more street legal, take a street glide, or what are you doing?
So all of our bikes are different. So like the very first bike we ever did, we did a Harley Davidson Softail that we just we basically just overhauled the whole thing. We chopped it up a little bit. We made it different.
So you got a used bike and then just customize it, or did your thing
too? Customized it. We did some fabricating on it, did some customizing on it, and then we got sponsors like Arlen Ness and to pitch in wheels and just different things like that. But that was our very first bike build. But our second one is sitting at the Haas Motorcycle Museum near you. It was a 1972 shovel head that was donated by a veteran. It was a used piece of crap with a Confederate flag on it. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I almost sold it just to get rid of it so we could just put the money back into the program. But what ended up happening with it, we took the motor out and we built an entire frame around it. So we did a ground up build. So the veterans got to learn how to bend the tubing. They got to learn how to weld. We pretty much built everything on that bike, and we won a national championship with it at the IMS show in 2018. And now it's sitting at the Haas Motorcycle Museum on display for everyone to see.
And where do y'all have a shop or something that you work out of, or that kind of moves around?
So that moves around. So we partner with various shops all across the country now. So we've actually expanded all over the place. So like we started here in Texas, in Austin. We started working with a shop called Cycle Refinery and Voodoo Vintage, who you're familiar with, David Roy. He's now sold his business. It's now moved up north.
Wasn't he was also a chef or something too, right?
He used to own some restaurant. He's kind of a jack of all trades. Now he's on a sailboat, but he's an Air Force veteran. And he and I had done a couple projects prior to Motorcycle Missions. And so he was happy to just, get in there and help the guys. And he really connected with the program, and it actually ended up being a benefit to him as well. Like he credits it for being life-changing. So, but he did our second, our fourth, our sixth. I think he's done four or five bike builds with Motorcycle Missions before he went sailing.
Right.
So, so we've done a number of them there. We did one in Cleveland, Ohio at Skidmark Garage, one at Dofo Winery in Temecula, California, one in Paris, Texas at the Harley Davidson dealership there. We are going to be building one with Roy and Nikki from Rolls Royce Customs starting November 7th.
So do you bring the veterans in from all over the country?
So I have applicants, like I have, the last time I counted, I had over 1,000 applicants from coast to coast wanting to participate either in a build or a ride. I've got about 100 applicants on the list for riding, but I have about over 1,000 for the build mentorship program. So I basically, what I do is like when I'm, with the Colorado build, I had a couple Colorado applicants that I remembered seeing. So I went digging for them. But then Roy being in the police, works in the police department there in Colorado and Denver, or Centennial, I think. He got a whole bunch of guys together. So it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of like, guys that have signed up, and, if we need more guys, we recruit some from different groups and that kind of thing. But in Texas, we have so many guys signed up. I mean, we could just do builds for days.
So when they come from out of town, y'all put them up in a hotel and all that stuff? No,
we make it so that they're local. So like when we do a build here, we have guys that drive in. We do it once a week for about 6 weeks.
Okay.
So we do once a week for about 6 weeks, and some guys drive all the way from San Antonio to come to Austin. Some drive all the way from Waco to come to Austin. Some of the guys are really dedicated. I have guys that with the motocross program, because that's like a weekend thing. There's some guys that are wanting to fly in to, to spend the weekend with us and ride dirt bikes. So, because that's a one-time weekend experience, whereas the build is like, it goes on week per week. We choose a day, like a Wednesday night or a Saturday afternoon that works with everybody as best as we can. We kind of have some requirements just to keep the integrity of the build going, and like you need to be able to attend so many builds,
right?
So in order to be fair to the other builders, that you're not being a flake, and so like there are rules and there are requirements, but every build is different, So like the one at Dofo Winery, I mean, we built this bike at a winery, and half of those girls lived an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So like there was driving involved to get there, you know. So it depends on the participants and how devoted and dedicated they are to it. But we try and make it as easy as we can. We try and pick the veterans that are in the area, you know, central to where we're building that bike. Like with Nikki and Roy, the veterans that we found happened to be within an hour of where they are. So
I think Bessler has a little video he wants to show of y'all working on a bike.
We literally took something that was drawn out on a piece of paper and turned it into a work of art.
You get a stock motorcycle and tearing it all, stripping it all down, and then just kind of putting it together and putting your own spin on it to make it unique, to make it authentic. You're not going to find any other bike out there that looks like it.
We had a couple ups and downs, parts breaking, not fitting correctly.
People just looking at things going, how is this going to fit together?
It was definitely really stressful to try to put it all together without scratching the paint.
And we broke some bolts, and we lost some bolts. Actually lost a lot of bolts, but it's all come together.
And everyone has their little touch and their little idea that they thought about putting into the bike, and it all kind of comes together, and it's like, wow.
The whole process has been it's been phenomenal. It's been amazing.
So tell us about that build, Krystal.
So that build, we did a build off. We did a bike build off, Austin versus Dallas. So Indians so happened to donate.
Who won?
Well, okay. That's debatable. So Austin won.
No, we're out.
The Austin team won on an Instagram poll, but the Dallas team won on a Facebook poll.
Okay.
And we were leaving it up to Indian because they donated us the 2 bikes, and the contest was on their social media channels and whatever. And so they came back to us with the winners. But we've been watching, and Dallas was up here for most of it. So I think it was the Facebook brought Austin above Dallas, Facebook polling. So, but in my eyes, they were both amazing builds.
And so what happens to the bikes when you're done?
Okay, so the one that you just saw us building is actually being given away right now. You have like a couple more days to buy tickets for it.
How do they get those tickets? That
is not through us. That is through Vincent Rocco, veteran. I think it's veteran.hq. He's a veteran. He's from the TV show, the spinoff from.
Is that the guy that you have to buy a T-shirt to buy a raffle ticket?
Yeah, because to keep people, a lot of nonprofits are having to do sweepstakes nowadays to keep the bike raffles legal.
Uh-huh.
Like the whole thing is, if you are buying a T-shirt or you're donating, you get a ticket. You aren't buying a ticket for a chance to win. So, veteran.hq, veteran with one
BET.
BETERAN.HQ. If you go there and you buy
veteran,
like being, his motto is being a better veteran.
So it's veteran.
Like veteran with a B. And you can go on there and buy a T-shirt, and that gets you an entry to win the bike. So we have 2 of our bikes, the one that we built in Cleveland, and the red Indian that you saw in the video, that he's giving away as part of it.
So how did he get to be part of the deal?
He bought them off of us.
Okay, so he bought them. So that money goes back into the bucket of y'all's charity.
Exactly. So any money that we get from the sale of bikes, we just actually sold our 4th motorcycle. I haven't told my vets yet who were on that build, but we just sold our 4th bike to a woman in Maui for her. It's for her and her Basset Hound, Earl. It's got a sidecar, and so she's purchased that. Like I said, our second bike is now in the Haas Museum. Our first bike was given away to a vet on stage. Our 3rd bike was done for a specific veteran. It was his bike that we overhauled and then gave back to him. The 2 Indians, one was auctioned off in Sturgis at John Paul DeJoria's Peace, Love, Happiness event. And I mean, the Cleveland bike, this with Vince Rocco Vargas buying it. I mean, that's that one, our all-female bike build. That bike is still in California, and we're gonna do some more stuff with that bike because it's such a new build.
Right.
Our 10th motorcycle is actually a Hayabusa that we are racing at the Texas Mile, which is a land speed event. And the family, there was a gentleman who used to race the mile and used to race that motorcycle who committed suicide, and the family wanted us to have it because they knew we would do something great with it. And so we actually did an entire build with it, redid the entire motor, and we raced it for the first time last October. We got 200 point something miles an hour. We just broke 200. That was on our very first run. So we're going out again this October. There it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're going out there again this October 31st, 30th to November 1st to try and race it again, see what we can push it to this time.
Right.
And then we also did a Road King that the Hoff Museum donated to us that had a Liberty sidecar. It was a well-loved bike. It had been ridden a number of miles on it. And that one's the one that Earl now owns. Earl the dog. The Road King sidecar is staying with us. It was built at Paris Harley Davidson, and it was revealed at Adam Sandoval's Bring It Home event, which was the world record ride for the world's largest parade of Harley Davidsons.
Yeah.
We built it for that, revealed it there, but that bike stays with us. That bike is going to be a therapy bike that we use to take veterans on rides that wouldn't otherwise be physically capable or able to ride.
Right.
So all of our bikes have different purposes. We have to sell a few of our bikes to put money back in the program, because without money in our program, we don't have a way to pay for any of these bills.
How can people donate to the program?
Absolutely. Just our website has a big donate button right on it. So you can do that. And I mean, or you can call me and I'll tell you where to send the check. But yes, all of our programming is donations.
Right.
We rely on those to keep us going. None of us take a salary. It's all volunteer. So
let me ask you a question. Let's see the side of your head.
I knew you were going to say
the
that.
side of your head over there. So I'm thinking about maybe doing that to only I might do it to this side and then this side
And
too.
then just have hair down.
And then just have stuff like hanging down and all over.
funny. I have so much hair, Rick. It's so thick and curly that it was
Why don't
actually
you brag, Krystal?
really nice to just get rid of it.
I have like no hair.
But then why do you just cut part of it?
Why? I don't know. Because the other side of my head, just to balance it so that the weight was evenly distributed.
What do you do if you had to put it in a ponytail?
Oh, it works. I just put it up in a ponytail.
Oh.
Right.
It's like the hat, like the mullet, but like
I think that's like the thing that I see more girls with. Like, there's a girl that works for us at the bar, and she has like one half of her head shaved, don't she?
her haircut's like a little boy.
Yeah, but isn't it just one half and then the other half is long?
I don't look at her that closely.
I think that's the style.
So whenever Jody and I did the Biker Bells deal, there was a little girl that stood up on stage and her hair was the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
She was the cutest little thing. She was like, what, Krystal, 8, 10? You know what I'm talking about?
She was 10, and she won the Jessie Award that day, didn't she?
Yes.
Little bike that she built.
Absolutely.
So,
it was cute.
what do you do for a living, Krystal, or is this a full-time job doing the motorcycle missions?
It's a good question. What do I do? I don't know. I'm actually a nurse by trade. To keep motorcycle missions operating, I've been doing a little bit of dipping into my savings and making it happen that way. But it's 2019. It was a full-time job. 2020 less so because of the virus. So I've been able to go back and do some nursing, especially to help out with the COVID outbreak. So I've been doing a lot of that.
Right.
But as motorcycle missions gets busier and busier, it's demanding more and more of my time again. So 2021 is kind of that year I have to figure out how it's going to.
But motorcycle missions can't run without you. Aren't you kind of a one?
I'm everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like I have a lot of great volunteers in the mentors that help build and ride and that kind of thing. But I'm very much I do everything else. So I do, the social media and the accounting and the purchasing and ordering, and
So you pretty much do a little bit of everything.
yeah. And right now I'm in the process of, like, I just handed over my social media password to one of my vets to try and.
Your password wasn't Bosco, was it? Bosco.
No.
What does that even mean?
Some people will get that reference, and some people won't. If you get that reference,
way over my head.
The first person to get that reference and comment on there, I'll send you a T-shirt.
Josh will send you a T-shirt.
Not you, Josh. Not Josh.
Josh will send you a T-shirt.
So in closing, what I want to hear about, I mean, we've heard about the motorcycle missions, and we're going to put the website and the phone number on there again.
Yeah.
I want to hear about what is that? What is that?
Picture. It's
That's
just a brochure.
Right.
Oh, wait. This says.
Not Rich Stafford either. He can't win.
All right.
So I want to hear about Krystal Hess, the girl. That's you.
Okay.
Come on, what do you
Come
got?
on, Krystal.
Come on, what?
know?
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38, so you're young still.
I came to Canada. I moved here in 2011.
Tommy Myers, are you the winner?
Yeah, Tommy Myers is the winner.
Tommy Myers, send me an email with your contact info. Lena, Lena, @strokersdallas.com.
Bosco is from Seinfeld. George Costanza was safeguarding his password to the ATM, right? So he wouldn't give it to anybody. He wouldn't give it to his fiance. He wouldn't give it to anybody, and they needed it really bad. So he felt he had to tell some person. So he told a dying woman on her deathbed. He said, "Listen, everybody wants to know my code, but I'm not going to tell it to anybody. But I'll tell it to you. It's Bosco." And then a few minutes later, some people are coming in on her deathbed, and she raises up and she says, "Bosco, Bosco!" So she's screaming Bosco, and he's trying to keep her quiet.
I'm surprised I don't remember that. I love Seinfeld.
Well, Seinfeld's awesome. So how long have you lived in Austin?
So 2011 is when I moved here.
Okay, so it's almost 10 years.
To Austin or to like America?
Austin. I've just moved straight from Calgary straight to Austin. And I've not left.
Are you an American citizen now?
I've always been. I've had dual citizenship.
Okay,
so,
good.
And it wasn't hard for me to come down here. I just came down here, showed my documents, and got my driver's license.
Right.
Can you vote?
Yes.
Oh.
And so what does Krystal Hess do to relax?
I don't think she has too many jobs to
I don't relax. When I've had a rough day, I like coming home and I'll sip on some tequila in front of the fireplace. Or last night I was outside.
You live in Austin. You're not running your fireplace very much.
You didn't let me finish. I was going to say outside I have like this really funky fire pit that I just installed. And so like I've been enjoying my patio with this really cool fire pit. It doesn't put out a lot of heat, but it's just pretty out there.
Do you live in a house or an apartment?
It's kind of an apartment. My place is kind of weird. Like I have a 2-car garage, and I'm attached to one person on that side, and there's 3 units that are attached. I'm on the end of one. It's a
condo.
Do you have a feller?
No. Yes and no. Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Rick Fairless.
I'm a dad. I can ask those kind of questions. You're 38. You don't want to hurry up.
If anybody wants to actually hear about my story, I won't get into it on here. But my whole reason for getting into motorcycle missions was being in abusive relationships. And I just seem to keep getting into them. I don't know how.
Was that in Texas or Calgary?
That was both Calgary and when I got here to Texas.
With
So,
with the same guy?
different guys.
You're a bad
I
picker.
was married for 9 years up there, and I was in an abusive relationship. And then the very first relationship I got into here was
Same thing.
a different kind of abuse, but it was like, this is a gentleman who had bipolar disorder and decided he was going to take his own life and involved me in the process.
Oh no!
It was a very manipulative relationship. So it was one of those like, you break up with me, I'm going to kill myself type thing. And he attempted it, and it involved a motorcycle. And that is, if you go, I don't know if I have the whole story on my website under about. You can go on there and read a little bit about my stories. My relationships with guys, I'm very like, if it's not working, it's like red flag, you're gone kind of thing. And so I found myself in some really weird relationships since I've moved here too, and I'm just whatever. If they're not,
Just do you.
Yeah, just trying to do me. I have met a new guy that I am seeing right now, but we're really, really new. So
Don't jinx it.
No, we're like a month in. So
Right.
You asked, do I have him at feller?
Feller.
You're in Texas, you say fella.
It's a month. It's been a month, so I'm not,
Maybe.
The thing that I see that, young girls do to me that kind of pushes boys off or that can be bad. Look at me, I'm giving relationship.
Your text message just went off. That's probably Josh saying, "Shut up, shut up."
is slow. Don't be in no hurry. Some girls are, and I know a lot of people from up here and people that are single and dating and all that. And it's what the boy don't want is he don't want. He goes out with the girl, and now all of a sudden she's burning up his phone every day. She wants to go out to eat every night. She wants, nobody wants that.
I was single for 6 years on purpose after the first boyfriend that I moved here. The first relationship I got into when I moved here.
Right.
The suicidal one. As soon as that was over, I spent 6 years single, and I was like, this next guy's got to play by some rules, and if they don't.
Right. Don't be in no hurry.
I'm not. I don't want kids, and I've done the marriage thing. I'm not in a hurry at all. And,
right. She liked other people's kids.
Yeah, I like to, and I've done pediatric nursing, so I feel like I've had my share of raising other people's kids. So, and taking care of other people's kids. Plus, I've taken care of some big kids, like some men,
Yeah, that's not good.
Ducky says, "Hello, girl."
Hey. Yeah.
So, but you're enjoying life.
I am, yes.
You like what you do with the motorcycle missions. You like helping people.
I have such a servant's heart that I don't even think twice about it, and it's just my passion. Motorcycles really did change and save my life in some way, and that's the whole reason why I started it.
Right.
That's also on my website, my story. So it is something that I would love to be doing the rest of my life, is just doing this. However, I know, who knows? Nobody knows the future. But if I had my way, that would be what would happen. So
now, do you have a personal bike, Krystal?
I do. I have a 2015 Indian Scout that I built with David Roy in his shop. Actually,
is David Roy? Is that Ziegfeld Roy?
No, that's Voodoo Vintage David Roy. That you have a bike in your shop that has his front end on it.
I do.
But Dave has been a huge part of my life. Dave is, I consider him a huge mentor. He's like a brother to me, and I've spent a lot of time in his shop and him teaching me fabricating. And I honestly, like, most of it's just been I'm watching him do it because I don't want to screw up on my own bike. But he's been great. He's just taught me so many amazing things.
He's a very nice man. But did you say he moved?
He's now on a sailboat somewhere. I don't know where.
Good for him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Scott Brazil, call me.
He must be, who's Scott Brazil?
Paw wants a shirt for all his little babies. Yes. And look at this dress I found that I've been thinking about bringing in. Stand up, Pearl. Look at
That's
this little
cute.
tie-dye dress. Okay, sit down.
That was just meant to be.
I know.
Meant to be. All right, pal. So you got anything else? Any other relationship advice you need? Anything like that?
No.
Business advice?
He would love to hook you up with somebody. Send us your financials to see if you're qualified for Krystal. That's what he does with my sister.
I got to.
Send me your financials.
No, I got a daughter. I got to get before Krystal.
He said, my other daughter's single. Let's see if you're a good match. Send me your financials.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, the good thing is I'm very stable. So I believe I'm stable up here and I've got my shit together.
And you enjoy what you're doing. And that's the whole thing is
doing.
Don't have to need anybody else.
I don't need anybody else.
Good. That's good.
I'm good. Like I said, I spent 6 years single before the last one, and I'm happy. You know, I've been happy to be single again. Like being by myself is actually one of the. I like my own company.
Good.
And it's actually helped me grow as a person. I don't think motorcycle missions would be at all what it is if I didn't spend a lot of time alone.
Do you have a dog?
I have a cat.
A cat? Okay. What's the cat's name?
Her name is Adeline.
We would love to see her.
She's over here.
You know how some people in Zoom meetings don't wear pants? Good thing Krystal's wearing pants. Oh, look at that kitty cat.
This is Adeline.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
She is pretty. Do you love her, Pearl?
Isn't she cute? It's a cute
Pearl
cat.
desperately wants a cat, but I'm allergic.
Oh no!
They ask me all the time if we can get a kitty cat. It's like, I'm sorry.
I'm so devastated if I was allergic to cats. I love cats.
Well, good. And so do you keep your personal motorcycle there at the house?
Yes, I
So
do.
So you
My
can
house
ride it?
is also like motorcycle. Like half of it's got motorcycle mission stuff everywhere.
Good.
So like my garage. So I mean, it's kind of a mixed mash of stuff. But my personal bike is here. Yes.
Good. All right, Krystal, anything else in closing?
No, I'm just really stoked and appreciative of you and for having me on the show and for.
No, it's you're a nationwide deal, so the people watching all over the country. We even have people that watch internationally.
Like there were some Greece, France.
Yeah, anybody that wants to
Yeah.
make a donation, right across the bottom there is the website, and then also is that your phone number across the bottom, Krystal?
Yes.
522-5445.
Yeah, and that phone number is through a thing called Google Voice, and it's like a service that Google has, and it's down right now. So that phone number has not been working, but it's supposed to be working. And
Do you have another phone number?
if they can just it's 512-589-5468.
546.
I trust your viewers. I don't usually give out that number because,
Well, if you give out that number and somebody winds up being a creep, call me and we'll take
I
care of
don't
that.
think any of your viewers are creeps, Rick. At least I hope not.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay, so when are you going to come to Dallas?
I was just there, but I'm going to be up there in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
You don't have any weird questions for Rick Fairless since he had weird questions for you?
No, we're good. We're good, Krystal. We're good. So there's the website. She gave you the phone number and all that. So any money that you donate goes towards the veterans. And Josh said it was an awesome program. He was in on a couple of the builds.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's and I asked him, I said, what did you, Josh, get out of it? And he said, I'm in a room working on motorcycles, talking motorcycles, eating and breathing
With
motorcycles
like-minded people.
with other veterans and first responders that go through the same thing. So when they're working on a bike, and this was, I wanted to categorize it in my mind, when they're working on bikes, it's just buddies working on a bike. You're not just talking about the motorcycle. You're also talking about your time in the service. You're talking about life, just adjustments and different things like that. And that's what's so good about it.
Our friend,
a lot of them do come in there like not really knowing what to expect or knowing what they want to get out of it or what they're going to get out of it. And then when you talk to them at the end, like they're just their experiences.
Yeah.
From the camaraderie to learning new stuff. I think the camaraderie is probably the number one thing that guys like, but also too, like most people don't have the opportunity to build a custom motorcycle.
Right.
It's just not something that they're given an opportunity to do, at least, not the way that we've been able to do it. So, so it's been a great experience. Plus, we also take all the bikes, on the show circuit and compete,
Right.
on the red carpets and stuff.
Well, no, it's an awesome thing y'all are doing, and any way we can support you, we'd be glad to. If you ever need to use my shop here in Dallas, you can.
You've already supported us plenty, but yes, I would
Okay.
go up on that in the future for sure. Rick, thank you.
All right. Good talking to you, Krystal.
bye, Krystal.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Krystal.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was Krystal Hess. You saw the website and phone numbers and different things. She does a lot of good things for a lot of people.
She's a good one.
I meant to ask her how many people she runs through that program, but it's a lot. It's a lot of people. It's a cool deal, and she's been doing it for a while now.
Well, you got the Bigun Jr. and Rick show.
Yep. So before we leave, I wanted to acknowledge a friend of mine that died yesterday. His name was Skeeter Todd, and Skeeter Todd was from New York, and nicest guy you'd ever meet. And to show you how smart this guy is when it came to motorcycles, a few years ago, I had Jesse James on the show, which I've been trying to get that knucklehead back on the show.
He texted me back yesterday and said, I haven't heard. Thanks for letting me know. So sad.
So Jesse James said on my show 4 or 5 years ago, he said that when he's working on a motorcycle, that's Skeeter Todd, my friend. And Skeeter Todd is also one of my hamster brothers. Jesse James told us on the show that when he's working on a motorcycle and he runs across a problem that he doesn't know how to fix it, he calls Skeeter Todd. That's how smart that guy is. Jesse James calls Skeeter Todd for advice on how to work on a certain problem on a motorcycle. The guy was so nice. When we were on the Kyle Petty charity ride last year, we went from Portland, Maine, down to North Carolina, and Skeeter met us in New York one day and took us to supper and drove us around and kind of showed us, some of the scenery there. It's just very sad, very sad, very sad to lose a friend. But anyways, that's why I wore my hamster shirt today, is to show my love for Skeeter Todd and for the hamsters, my hamster brothers.
You look nice in yellow.
I hope so. I wear yellow. I love the hamsters.
And
All right.
when you rode earlier, you wore a tie-dye hamster shirt. It looks
Yeah,
nice.
so I rode to
Grapevine.
I had to go to Grapevine to pick up some eye drops for Alice. So I rode my shovelhead, which I call Alice. I think it went a little over 50-something miles round
Did
trip. Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
fall.
So, all right. Strokers Dallas merch, merch.com. Check that stuff out. And I'm trying to get Eddie Trotta on the show for next week. I talked to him and he's available. He just hadn't told me if he wants to do it on Tuesday or Friday. So I'm gonna try to get Eddie Trotta on the show if he can fit it to a schedule. And then if y'all have somebody you'd like to see us interview, just put it out there. Maybe it's somebody that you know. Maybe you say, hey, Rick, I'm friends with Pam Anderson. Would you want to get her on the show? The answer is yes, I do.
Can you quit talking so we can get out of here with this baby? She's driving me nuts.
Have a good weekend. We'll see you whenever. Bye.
So I made Grandpa take the baby to the bank and stuff earlier, home to see